Welcome to our weekly roundup of key business developments in Sri Lanka. I'm Nishani Pigera. Let's first take a look at the main stories for this week. IMF reviews key state-owned enterprises. Sri Lankan Airlines given 6 months to show progress. Stock market at a 5-month high. In this week's main story, on Tuesday, the IMF delegation, which is in the country for the second review, held discussions of the operational and commitments relating to the Ceylon Electricity Board and the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation. The delegation reviewed the recent tariff reduction, the balance sheet, as well as the current financial position of the two state-run institutions. Last month, the Ceylon Electricity Board cut tariffs by an average of 22% as it had recorded a profit of 65 billion rupees in 2023 from increased hydropower generation. Meanwhile, Verite Research pointed out that Sri Lanka has failed to meet 33% of IMF commitments as at February. Commitments not met include those relating to transparency, governance and improving legislation. According to the think tank, Sri Lanka has met 31% of the commitments, while 36% could not be verified. In a key development this week, Paris Club creditor member France, together with Canada, Japan, Netherlands, Spain and the United Kingdom, requested the Southern District Court of New York to consider extending the 5-month stay on the case filed by Hamilton Reserve Bank against Sri Lanka. Last week, Sri Lanka had sought a 5-month hold on its ongoing lawsuit, stating the need to negotiate with private creditors. In July 2022, the St. Kitts and Nevis-based bank sued Sri Lanka, demanding full repayment of its over $250 million investment of Sri Lanka dollar bonds. According to Nima Siripala de Silva, Minister of Ports, Shipping and Aviation, Sri Lankan Airlines has been given 6 months to demonstrate operational and financial performance following the postponement of the divestiture auction. Last week, the Cabinet agreed to a proposal for the government to absorb Sri Lankan Airlines' outstanding debt of around $510 million, including a $175 million bond owed to various banks. The airline currently operates 16 aircrafts and employs around 6,000 staff. The all-share price index reached a 5-month high this week, continuing its upward momentum for 8 consecutive days. Selected banking sector shares, including Hat National Bank and Sampath Bank, as well as blue-chip companies, contributed positively. With treasury bond yields trending lower and anticipated funds from delisting of ex-Polanka shares, there is renewed interest in the equity market. Turnover ranged at a significant 1.5 to 2.5 billion rupees in recent days, with media reports stating an increased participation from high-net-worth investors. Worker remittances in February reached $476 million, up 17% from a year earlier. This brought the year-to-date figure to $845 million. According to the Institute of Policy Studies, a large proportion of Sri Lankan migrant workers are semi-skilled and/or low-skilled categories. In our weekly tourism update, during the first 10 days of March, over 67,000 tourists arrived in the country. Daily arrivals reached over 6,711, falling from the over 7,600 recorded in February. Russia was the primary source market, followed by India and Germany. Sri Lanka is expecting to achieve $1 billion in tourism earnings by the end of March. At the Treasury bill auction held on Wednesday, yields on all maturities marginally increased for the third consecutive week. Bids amounting to 290 billion rupees were received, of which 167 billion were accepted. The Sri Lankan rupee appreciated against the dollar this week, with the central bank's indicative mid-spot rate ranging around 306 to 308 rupees. In other market news, 5 offers were made for the divestiture of life and general units of the Sri Lanka Insurance Corporation. For the life unit, offers were made by LIC Lanka, Union Assurance PLC and Asiri Hospital Holdings PLC, while for the general unit, offers were received from Euro Exim Bank and Fairfirst Insurance. Deadline for submissions ended on the 6th of March. And with that, we wind up for this week. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel at the link below for regular updates on economic and business developments in Sri Lanka. Until we see you again next week, thank you for watching. Stay safe.